The real voyage of discovery lies not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. You've reached Talking with Dr. Terry, 180 Seconds to a Better You, message number 436, and I'm Dr. Terry Wurzbacher. Let me say this again. The real voyage of discovery lies not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. And that's by Marcel Proust, or Proust, however you say his name. When you're bored with all that's going on in your life, remember this quote. Decide to create one or more challenges. What would you like to discover? Take some ordinary aspect of your life and think about how you can make it less ordinary, less boring, and more exciting. That shouldn't take that long to figure out. Take my walking, for example. I get very bored in the off-season because I walk on the same greenway near my house. Yeah, it's a long greenway. There's over 20 to 30 miles that I could explore, but inevitably it's the same 10-mile stretch. Fortunately, I'm now in the training season, but I've noticed that I'm even getting a bit bored with the training routes I have for Vol State. However, it's much easier for me to look at my training route with new eyes. How? By deciding on a specific intention for each day's walk. Right now, it's walking without stops, but it could be to decide to do some other exploration, trying to find different hills to work out on. Having new eyes simply means looking at things differently, from a different perspective. Back to the off-season walks. I have to dedicate some of my walks to flowers or trees, and by that I mean taking pictures of them rather than worrying about my pace, my distance, etc. It's really an exploratory walk rather than a training walk. How about your career? I told you that almost all my life I made my jobs fun. My last 26 years were in an administrative position. You're probably thinking, oh my God, how could that possibly be interesting? How could it possibly be fun? 26 years? Ugh. I was working with people's lives even though it was on paper. There were always things to figure out, things to unearth and look for. I adopted the character of either Murder, She Wrote or Columbo, and you can Google them if you're too young to remember what they were or to know what they were. Each case was a mystery to me, something to be solved. How could I figure out what was really going on? What was underneath all of this? Was there an ulterior motive? The people who didn't last long in this job were those who just saw words on the paper and then they judged the picture painted by those words. They never questioned the words, and often that was where the real truth was. Is there something in your work or your home life that you could do differently? Find something that bores you and try to look at it with different eyes, a different perspective. But most of all, have a diamond day.